We're in the middle of an environmental crossroads. We can't continue what we've been doing to the earth, and we can't go back. But what we can do is create a future where the environment and people can coexist. But how? That is one of the biggest questions of our time. Thousands of years ago, humans lived in balance with nature. But as time passed, humans took on a more dominant role that would damage nature permanently. As humans have taken over, we've influenced the environment in ways that are detrimental. But this can't happen indefinitely, since the Earth's resources are finite. And the sooner we begin to undo, or at least try to stop our destruction, the sooner Earth can return to its natural balance. A balance we have disrupted for far too long. In the next few decades, we have to do something profoundly different. Create a sustainable existence with Earth, something we haven't achieved. We've used our intelligence to challenge Earth and use its resources. But what about using that same collective intelligence and effort to make the Earth thrive again? Part of the damage Earth has sustained on the planet is because populations have skyrocketed. We've changed Earth intrinsically to benefit our species. And we've altered the Earth so profoundly that scientists now call this the age of humans. As nature determined our survival centuries ago, now we determine nature's survival. Both a huge achievement and a catastrophic failure on our part, because we are damaging the very home that allows us to live. Some even say that humans have become a sort of parasite to the earth, stripping its resources and giving nothing back. While others demand that this one-sided relationship has to end for humans to survive. Ultimately, any parasite will die if its host is killed, meaning if we continue to destroy the earth at this rate, we ultimately destroy our own ability to survive. In the last 5 decades alone, the population of wild animals has decreased by 60%. There's very little wild left because of our encroachment and damaging actions to the environment. The loss of biodiversity is irreplaceable and profound. It's also at the heart of the imbalance in the Earth's ecosystem. The Earth needs biodiversity to survive. An Earth that is less biodiverse is less able to create dependable weather, have healthy ecosystems that foster water quality and air quality. Biodiversity is essential for survival, not just for Earth, but for humans, so the world can withstand our negative actions. Ultimately, can we turn back the hands of time? Can we undo our unrelenting negative impact? The answer is yes and no. But it also lies in how our society moves forward collectively. One of the reasons humans have impacted the earth so negatively is because of our booming population. But a shift has been happening. For the first time in history, people are having less children. Now, this is important because the greater the population, the more negative the impact, and the more use of Earth's resources to sustain this population. By having less children than ever before, If this pattern continues, the population of the world may plateau for the first time in thousands of years, which will give Earth a reprieve, a chance to begin to heal from the damage humans have caused it. By educating ourselves on environmental problems, investing in a more sustainable future, and promoting human rights, we can create a future that can begin to undo the past. What people don't understand is that the earth and human rights are connected. The same mentality that allows the exploitation of the earth for resources and money also exploits people for the exact same reasons. A connection that has been ignored far too long. And the main reason this mentality has thrived. The idea of the Red Movement is that as long as we continue to support corporations, products, actions, and even events that exploit the earth and people, nothing will ever change. As a group, we've taken from the earth. Now we need to give back to our host. Otherwise, we will just continue down this path of self-destruction that could ultimately lead to our own extinction. To have a successful future, we need to regain the ability to coexist with nature in a way that does not harm it. This can be accomplished by first supporting and expanding renewable resources. Fossil fuels need to be replaced with renewable energy to undo some of the harm of the last century. This would result in permanent positive changes that include clean air, improving ecosystems of the ocean, and slowing down the warming of the planet. Reducing our consumption can also help rebalance the ecosystems of the earth to create an equilibrium that benefits Earth and doesn't strip it of its resources. And supporting biodiversity is essential to helping the earth reestablish that equilibrium that has been lost. These changes are just the beginning to saving our planet and restoring the environment. Otherwise, we will continue to have a parasitic relationship where the earth suffers to support us at its own peril. Environmental justice is a human rights issue because as long as we are adding to the instability of the planet, we're also failing to provide for all the basic needs of the humans who live here. A dangerous crossroads that has continued for too long. This is why the Red Movement is important. It wakes people up to the reality of what we have done to the earth and what we've done to one another. Our relationship with the earth is dysfunctional, and the only way to ensure human rights and environmental justice is to undo the imbalance that has led to these inequalities. The mission of the Red Movement is to create a stable planet that can provide for the needs of all its occupants without sacrificing the needs of one group for another. Will you join us in this movement? Will you join us in fostering human rights? The Red Movement helps people learn how their actions both individually and collectively impact environmental justice and social justice. And it all begins with you.